Hello, beloveds. So I'm back. This message will give you a bit of information about Diotrephes. Diotrephes. Okay. But first, before I say that, it says the teacher said to the student, "Come to the edge." This is my cup. I'm reading. Come to the edge. They replied, "We might fall." The teacher again said, "Come to the edge." And they responded, "It's too high." So first they replied, then they responded, "It's too high." The teacher said again, "Come to the edge." The teacher demanded. They came to the edge. The teacher pushed them and they flew. God got you. God said, "Come to the edge," like he told Peter to walk on the water, right? And Peter was frightened. And um God said, come to the edge. He got you. He know what you are capable of. He know the strength that he have placed on the inside of you. You just walking in fear. You just walking in fear. God said, "Come to the edge." The edge is doing what God called you to do. Walk in it. Walk in it with courage. Walk in it knowing that God is walking with you. Okay? So, Diotrephes, Diotrephes. So, third John, because I talked about him just briefly a couple of times. So, I wanted to go and understand. I understood the spirit that he carried, but I wanted to go understand his lineage. Well, the Bible does not talk about his lineage, okay, at all. But I'm going to Third John, and I'm going to read. This spirit is dangerous for so many reasons, but we're gonna see. Okay, so it says, "The elder to my dear friend Gaius, whom I love in the truth." That means Gaius got the Holy Spirit. "Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. It gave me great joy when some believers came and testified about your faithfulness to the truth, telling how you continue to walk in it. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in truth." So, in one of the dreams I had, I said there was a child sitting beside me. Now, the child was a resemblance of my grandbaby. My grandbaby name is Kalia. So, her last three digits of her name. So, my daughter got a boy and a girl. The girl, like I said, name is Kalia. Yeah, Kalia. Some people say yeah, some people say yeah, but it's YAH, like yeah. My grandson name is King. So how I look at this, Yah is king. Yah is king. King is Yah. So, anyways, yeah, yeah. She got a Yah and a king, and it's a boy and a girl. But anyways, interesting stuff. So, um, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in truth. Okay, so going back to what I was saying. So when I was sitting on this love seat, there was a child, but a girl child, It's a difference when you dream about a boy and when you dream about a girl. There's totally difference. God is speaking something to you different, okay? So, yeah, this girl child was sitting next to me, and this is what God was directing me um, to John, John letters. So, dear friend, you are faithful in what you are doing for the brothers and sisters, even though they are strangers to you. They have told they have told the church about your love. Please send them on their way in a manner that honors God. Baby, when I tell you, keep that word. Remember that word honor, okay? Please remember the word honor. Please send them on their way in a manner that honors God. Because there's a manner that honors man. So I see how in here he's is so direct. You know, it hit the target on what he's saying, how he's saying, you know. So nobody won't have a discrepancy of what he's saying. It was for the sake of the name that they went out, receiving no help from the pagans. And something quite interesting in here, the N on name is capitalized. It was for the sake of the name that they went out, receiving no help from the pagans. We ought therefore to show hospitality to such people so that we may work together for the truth. I wrote to the church, but Diotrephes, who loves to be first, would not welcome us. So when I come, I will call attention to what he is doing, spreading malicious nonsense about us. Not satisfied with that, he even refuses to welcome other believers. He also stops those who want to do so and put them out of the church. So in the dream I was talking about, the dream I was talking about, I was in this service. I didn't know it was a deliverance service, how this minister was pointing his insults at me, and so forth and so on. This is what God was directing me to as well, to understand the Diotrephes spirit, okay? And not it wasn't for me to get in a hoorah or me get aroused, like have a unhealthy stance about it. It was for me just to understand, so I can hit the target with certain things. And it goes on to say, dear friend, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. Anyone who does what is good is from God. Anyone who does what is evil has not seen God. Demetrius is well spoken of by everyone, and even by the truth itself. We also speak well of him, and you know that our testimony is true. I have much to write you, but I do not want to do so with pen and ink. I hope to see you soon, and we will talk face to face. Peace to you. The friends here send their greetings. Greet the friends there by name. Okay, so I wanted to understand Diotrephes, and his lineage, because when I look at the lineage of David, King David, Solomon and his other sons. And, you know, I see the inheritance, I see the generational spirits that go through the lineage, right? And so I wanted to know what lineage he comes from. And it don't say, it do not say, it don't give no genealogy of the Diotrephes at all. Um, but it does, what I do draw from it is it's a counterfeit for what God is looking for. The atrophies, like it described him as one who loves to be first. Some interesting stuff, and he refused the apostolic authority. His traits, I mean, we see that he has pride, he's self-centered, he like self preeminent, um he reject truth and hospitality, and he spread malicious talk, um and expelling faithful believers, like sending them away from his church. And John says, don't imitate such evil, but walk in goodness. And so what we draw from it is he's arrogant. He's a there's a counterfeit authority. Um it's in opposition of what God desired for us. He means nourished by Zeus or raised by Jupiter. So it revealed that his roots is in this his roots is rooted in pagan authority. Zeus slash Jupiter equals supreme pagan god, symbol of pride, domination, and counterfeit fatherhood. If you are fed by idols, it produces arrogance. If you was raised by false gods, it produces resist covenant truth. It represents counterfeit leadership that masquerade as authority but leads to destruction. So it's a counterfeit of what the Lord really desired, of what the other apostles carried. Because if you're nourished by Christ, the true covenant lineage, because Christ is the bread of life, he sustains us and nourishes us. The fruit of true nourishment is humility and servanthood, hospitality and truth, joy in discipleship. If you're fed by Christ, you produce covenant faithfulness. Um, you're raised by the Spirit, which is, it builds up the household of God, and it represents true fatherhood that nurtures, restores, and empowers. And it's for us, it's for our greater good, because sometimes we can get beside ourselves, any of us can get beside ourselves, and that pride can creep in. And so it's good to do a self-evaluation. Do a self-evaluation. Quite a few things that was interesting in here. Who in the Bible raised by Jupiter? Oh, okay. So in the Bible, Jupiter is associated with the city Lystra, Lystra, where the Apostle Paul and Barnabas performed a miracle that led the local people to mistake them for gods. In Acts 14, it is noted that the people of Lystra called Barnabas Zeus and Paul Hermes because they believed he was a god. So I read that not to tie Barnabas and Paul to Jupiter or Zeus, but to understand where this, you know, domineering spirit come from. Okay, so this is what I was gonna say. He likes to be first. God said, I'm the first and the last, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. Um, this is a mistake that Satan himself ran into. And what happened to Satan? Yeah, we just got to be mindful. We got to be careful of, um, when God is showing us something, something is rising up. When God is showing us something that's rising up in our spirits, we have to we have to pay attention, because this type of spirit, it will creep in, like it will build itself up in you for a period of time, and then one day you just, it's in its fullness, it's in its entirety, and it's hard to come up out. So yeah, that was just a little. It didn't give much about this particular spirit, but it's a spirit that divides God's people. And yeah. And then the next, Jude, going to talking about the sin and doom of ungodly people. Okay. So you can read Jude. Jude is not very um long. Okay, y'all. Until next time.